Since this is like a Christo-fascist nation or whatever, this probably won't matter, but in my studies, I'm starting to realize that to the white capitalist or the white businessman under capitalism, the riches are his freedom. So his whole goal is to obtain access to power through the riches so he can be free to do whatever the fuck he pleases. Our problem as black people is trying to go that route as well. The very individualistic, self-serving, narcissistic aspect of capitalism. Because at the end of the day, capitalism is not inherently evil. It's the people who use the system for nefarious ways that are evil. And there isn't only one form of capitalism. Think about it. There's 480 million types of Christianity, bro. But fundamentally, most of you guys are following the same thing. Now, in my studies of not just traditional black business, but you have to think about all the ways to which we've been shut out and excluded from traditional business. So where we've had to conduct our entrepreneurship and business opportunities underground or through illegal means. Because how are you going to throw people into projects where they're not making enough money and then expect them to still pay the bills that you give a regular person who does have access? You're almost forcing people to do crime at that point. But that's a little far from the point. When we as black people are given opportunities to participate legally, effectively in the business field, I've realized that we get lost trying to chase the white man's version of success rather than trying to recognize or acknowledge freedom is the goal for us. Because under their form of capitalism, they need to control us to create that wealth that they want so desperately. But for us, the answer is freedom. We obtain riches within this system only, exclusively to maximize our ability to fully liberate or to have freedom for ourselves and then to decide what we do with that. Because I'm telling you, if you even give us an hour a day of freedom, true freedom, and then 2 days a week, 3 days, 4 days a week, I'm telling you right now, we're going to realize, dude, we were never meant to be slaves on this planet. I don't care if it's a curse of Ham, curse of Moses, curse of Joseph. I don't give a fuck about any of that bullshit. We were never meant to be slaves on this planet. This is a human experience we're having here, bro. And it's like me saying this in a very simple sense for you guys to get. I'm either going to use the smartphone. I'm not going to say ChatGPT. I'm going to use the smartphone to escape my real world in these fantasy universes and worlds that are on here, or I'm going to use it as a tool to make my real world more efficient through the tool so I can do more of what I really want to do in this one life that I have. And at the end of the day, it's your choice as to what direction you go. So for my black people, instead of just sitting here with like this like stench on capitalism, figure out how we have been exploited and have been the backbone of other people's economic systems, and figure out how and why we haven't been doing that for ourselves, or how we can and why we haven't been doing that for ourselves, and just being our own battery pack, and then deciding who deserves access to our self-sufficiency outside of ourselves, rather than being colonized and then conquered and then forced to follow our colonizers' philosophy, which forces us to hate ourselves. Because I'm telling you right now, like, we as black people, like, I'm not gonna say that, but understand that, because in this world we're walking into, there is no politician, there is no president, there is no Democratic Party, Republican Party, there's none of those people are gonna save us. We're moving into a world of masters and slaves, meaning that you have to be business-minded, business-educated, so you are not the product that is being sold, or you aren't selling your time to be a service to other people. We have to figure out how to create our own, like, and we did this in segregated America, which is fucking hilarious, because that's why they don't want us to go back there. Because we had our own self-sufficiency and our own self-sufficient economies. And they had to keep on blowing those up to stop us from thinking that we were anything more than their property. But let me know what you guys think about this. It's a very interesting conversation, and I hope that we want to have more of it. Because we're going to keep on waiting for, like, I don't know, Bernie Sanders or somebody to save us, and we're still going to be broke the whole entire fucking time. And at the end of the day, the issue, the answer to most of our issues underneath the capitalist system is money. The thing is that politics makes us think that there's a way you can, like, reason yourself out of being poor. And then you can reason other people who are rich to, like, give you money, as if that's just not fucking begging, bro. No, you need money, you need capital, you need economic leverage in this system. And black people, we create that inherently, but other people have been destroying us psychologically so they can use it for themselves. The second we start using it for ourselves, then maybe we can create our own type of capitalism that isn't only serving this illusion of a god, which is basically just like a Wizard of Oz front, so a bunch of wealthy people can go to whatever land they want, destroy the whole entire thing, corrupt everybody, and steal all the shit that they want for themselves. Because at the end of the day, the caucus of Asian man's capitalism is just perpetual colonization of cultures and communities, and then the self-destruction of the people who own or responsible for those things, so those people aren't a nuisance in like stopping them from colonizing as efficiently as they do. That's all. It's all business philosophy at the end of the day. And if you guys want to get smart instead of argue about, well, Karl Marx, then like have at it. But final thing here, the reason why I have my own independent theory for a lot of these philosophies are because you have to remember, in the world we're walking into, which is the world that we used to be living in, not only did black people and women and disabled people not have human, we were owned capital that was negotiated and allocated and transacted amongst our ownership class. Remember that. If we don't own anything, it's not just the fact that we're going to be renters. Fuck renting. We are going to be transactional capital for owners of property. And at that point, it's not going to matter what type of protest you go to, what type of politician you elect. None of that shit will matter at the end of the day, because we will be, again, screaming at the hand that is feeding us. And they can just choose to starve us at the end of the day, which is what they're doing right now. So there's no political movement you're going to have that is not supported by some type of economic backing that is self-sufficient, because that's the only way that that economic backing and the political movement can stay authentic to what they are. Or else they'll get bought out and corrupted, or they'll just get sabotaged from the outside, or they'll get starved from the outside because the people in the movement are too fucking stupid to realize that they're begging for money too. They're just doing it in some morally intellectual superior way.